Hello Virgo, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. Her name's at the top. And below that, you have it illustrated by Mark Evans. Okay. And supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon oracle cards by Stacy DeMarco. I know Stacy has more decks. I think Ellen does too. I'm not very familiar with Mark, but he might have some stuff out there. So if there's anything you like, if you like the artwork or imagery or whatever you got going on there, check out those people, and maybe you'll find something you like. Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Virgo, 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 Virgo. Like, I was almost going to put out more cards and like, no, leave them there. Alright, so, I like this. So far, I like it. Let's see when we get into it. I think I like this. You've got the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Wands. This is starting out this situation. It seems to be you're starting off like, can I hold this together? Can I keep this situation going the way it is? Because there is some type of adversity there, but it's kind of like mindless adversity. Kind of like some people might throw this off, not because they're trying to cause you some issues, not because they're trying to throw a monkey wrench into stuff, but just because they are who they are. You know, they do that. Once in a while they just go off on their own tangent, or they do this, or they do something a little differently. And it's kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this together, but I'm going to try to. And you're watching and you're being careful. You're reminding people, hey, things go well as long as we stay on plan. Excuse me. Things go well as long as we do stay on plan. Apparently coughing our face off. That helps too. Hold on. Let's see if that helps it. Okay. So, well, I guess we're just going to have a cough this one. Sorry. Yeah, you're just reminding them. You know, we stay on plan, things go a lot better, let's stay on plan. You're also realizing this is an energy which you can't really convince it. The best you got, you remind them. Jeez, I was fine until I started recording. They do believe you, but you're just watching. I feel like you have to have patience with this situation, not because you have to wait for something to come together, but just kind of like, you keep trying to remind and keep the situation on point. I do feel like you're successful with that, right? Yeah, Seven of Wands. But you got to kind of hold the ground there. I'm feeling like you're overcoming the adversity in the sense of like, you keep reminding people, but on the same token, it seems like you don't have complete control of this. It's kind of like, I'll just keep reminding them. I'll just keep giving, you know, helpful nudges. For the most part at this point, at this stage in the game, that seems to work. Alright, so what do we got coming in next? Somebody's kind of, I think somebody's going to end up starting to disconnect or something. Something's a little different. You got discernment and will in the environment, right? So, somebody's making a decision like what they do or don't like about this situation. And they got this face down, which is telling me the Six of Swords is like they're considering walking away from this situation or changing something. But when I'm seeing it face down is like they're not letting you know. They're not letting you know, but they're kind of deciding what they do and don't want. And they're like, you know what, the way this is going, I don't like it. It's not for me. I'd rather do this. I'd rather do that. So they're starting to abandon the situation. But it depends on your situation exactly how that's working out. Because I feel like somebody is deciding, you know what, I don't know if this is really for me, and you know, I can do something else. Maybe I'm gonna do something else. But at the moment they're deciding this, at the moment they're deciding this, things are really good. Things look very optimistic. Things are right on point. I'm getting, you're happy with it. That's the thing. Everything's going really well. Everything's very solid at this point. Like, I don't think you're getting any indication from this other person that they're kind of like, I think I'm done. You got, is that faith or attraction? Attraction. Attraction in the Seven of Cups. You're kind of like, this is going a lot better than it was before, and everybody seems to be getting along. Everybody seems to be very happy, and you're like, you know what? Maybe we can start developing this a little more, taking this a little farther. Maybe it's time to kind of start, going up the mountain a little bit more, just taking a little bit more into this, putting a little more effort, developing the plan to the next level. Maybe it's time to start doing that. You're kind of excited about this, like it's going so well, why not make it better? Virgo's not really like make quick, fast changes, but you are open to, like, since it's going well, let's start like looking over there and start making plans to go a little bit better and putting a little bit more effort, making some nice changes or differences here that are going to improve what we're already doing. So at this point, you're like, hey, let's make this better. Let's do a little bit more. Is there anything I'm missing? Because there's like a weird energy there. Kind of like I'm missing like a small piece. Are you adding something new? No. You're just improving. It's improving what you already have. You have a lot of ideas about improving what you already have, in case that came off weird. Yeah, it feels better. Okay, we're going to move on from that. Whew. So, that's face down. Are they leaving? The energy is not leaving. And you take more on. Nine of Pentacles with resilience. This is difficult for you. You seem to take, when you put in these ideas, when you're like, let's improve in what we already have, this starts to change. It starts to develop in its own way. It's kind of mutating the way it wants to versus the way you thought it would. This energy that had this, like, I think I'm going to go, but it's face down, I don't know if it's going to actually come forward because I'm not seeing them leaving to the point where you're like, uh-oh, I got like all this work and now that my help is gone. What I'm getting is that's mutating. This is the reason things are changing. You were like, let's improve and do things a little bit differently. Let's do them better than we were. They're like, you know what, since you want to do things a little differently, instead of like, working on the house, let's work on the garden or something like that. It's kind of like you were working on home improvements and they're like, you know what, instead of doing inside work, let's do outside work. And you're kind of like, well, wait a minute. I don't want to stop doing the inside work. And yeah, there's more I want to do. And they're like, well, let's do it outside. And you're kind of like, now you're doing inside and outside, and they're kind of doing more outside. So you seem to be holding up the fort with what was already going on and adding stuff extra that's completely different. Well, maybe same subject, different category. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of like the resilience is like that's a bit stressful. But at the same time, you're like, all right, I can do this, and all right, like, I'll do this. It's still working out. It's still working out. I do see, like, the other energy is, like, giving, like, they're keeping up, they're helping keep things on point. The previous situation, they're keeping that going as much as they feel like they have to. I don't think they're as engaged as they were, but the new situation, they're more engaged, they're more excited about that. That's what I'm getting with the Six of Pentacles. Like, they are giving to a point, but they're more looking towards the future rather than the past. They're still engaged with the other stuff, but they're more going towards the new stuff. You got the Creation with the Page of Pentacles. They're trying to change stuff. They want to liven it up a bit. They were getting a little bit bored, I'm thinking, with what it was. Got Creation with the Page of Pentacles. Something new is coming out of this. It's kind of like things are starting to change. And I'm getting, like, for example, if we're going to use the same subject, you were working inside the house for a while. You wanted to do more inside house stuff. And they started pulling it outside. And then they might even go into another thing. Well, now that we're out here, let's start doing these other projects that, we were going to buy some other land. Let's look at that other land we were going to buy. Let's just research that a little bit more. Like, they're still, like, improving your equity, if you will. So, like, it's kind of like this is stuff still benefiting you, but it's going farther and farther away from the original project. creation in the page, like the farther we go, the more this goes away from the original project. I don't see it being like that bad, but it's kind of like you have to like finish up these other projects to a point where you can be like, well, all right, we can finish it up to this point and set it aside for now. Things are not completely done, but it's kind of like I got these rooms are painted and they got the molding on them, but you're like, I didn't get to do the upgrades I wanted to do to them. I didn't get to that part yet. But I guess we're going to put those to the side for now. And we're going to go into these other projects, the outside work, the looking at new land that we were considering. We're going to go into that. So it's still benefiting you. There's still work getting done. It's just it's mutating into this different situation. I do get that this is really good. Like, it does seem to be working for you and this other person. I'm getting the Sun card with the Eight of Wands. Things are changing. But I would also be very cautious or careful, or both, I guess. When this person is pulling you away from those old projects, or they're going to become old projects soon, like when they're pulling you towards new projects, that's probably a better way to say it. They have something in mind. They have something in mind. Because I'm getting this face down card with the six, like it's face down, the Six of Swords. They don't really want to go back to that. They're changing their mind about what they wanted to do before, and they have new ideas about where they want to go now. So it's kind of like, if we're going back to this house analogy, we were doing a lot of work inside the house because, for whatever reason, maybe you were like, we were going to live here the rest of our life. That's how you saw it. They decided that they don't really care for this house this much. That may be a shock to you. And they're like, instead of going crazy, let's just make it nice enough so we can resell it, make a profit on it, and find something else. They might be going in that direction, but they haven't brought it forward to you yet. If that's the case, if they're thinking you won't be open to it at first, they're trying to find some leverage to get you excited about the idea. So they're trying to get you excited or open to that idea before they bring it forward. But this might be something they're thinking about. If that's the case, the Sun card and the Eight of Wands is like, they are going to bring it forward, but they're going to show you why that's a good idea. They're going to give you a lot of like reasons behind it and show you like why it could be better to do so. So that's the Sun card with the Eight of Wands. Protection is telling me you're not going to lose anything. Like, for example, you're putting all that work into the house. It's kind of like it'll benefit you still, just in the resale versus living there. You know what I mean? It's just an analogy, however it applies to your life. So it's changing. It's still going to benefit you, just not exactly as how you were planning it to originally. Ultimately, whoever you're dealing with, I feel like you're going to give in to them. Kind of like, well, I guess if you're not into it anymore, it just kind of loses a lot of its value. So I guess we're going that way. I do see you giving into it over time. This energy, whoever this is, whatever you're dealing with here, seems to understand. And for some of you, I feel like you're going to be like, well, it's a situation, it's not a person. I would kind of like equate that to the universe, kind of slowly giving you time to get used to the idea and bringing in more benefits to you to make this change. So whatever it is for you, I'm getting over time you will accept it, you'll give into it, and you'll go with the change. I do feel like it's a better change. It's just unexpected, and it wasn't a part of the original plan. That's all I'm getting. You still get your benefit out of it. You know, it still pays off. You're protected. You're not losing, like you're not losing your investment. But it's different. The outcome is much different than you originally planned. All right. I think we're there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.